Hey guys, the best promo code of all time, at least in my opinion, just dropped, and you can get a trans gem for free. I'm not going to waste any time. I just ask that you like the video and you subscribe to the channel. Basically, it's Duo Dragon 1cc. This promo code right here, you put it in and you will get a transmutation gem for free. Now, there are a couple things about this. Number one, I do not know how many people are allowed to claim this. I sincerely hope that the devs learned from their mistakes in the past and made it active for everyone who puts it in. And the other thing is I have zero idea how long this is going to last. There was no date on the announcement for this promo code. Now, aside from claiming this, I do also want to talk about the best pieces to use this on because it is very important to know these things. Now, the place that this comes from is actually on the main Watch Your Realms Discord server. They have these community events every once in a while, and one of them was to get trans gems, right? 50 people submitted, gave everyone a code for a trans gem, and then the top people won some as well. I was actually number 4, so I barely missed it, but yeah, it was fun, and that's what we got it from. Anyways, now, how should you use your trans gem? Well, the way that trans gems work is you can use them on ancient or variant gears to change one of the substats. As an example, these pieces right here were actually not quads originally. These turned into quads after using a trans gem. As you can see, it takes the stat and it turns it into another one of the substats. That's how a trans gem works. Now, the best things to use them on, I'm going to go down the list. We're going to start with variants. Variants are the best thing to transgem. And in my opinion, specifically weapons. Weapons are very important. Now, to start off, Unstoppable Force is the single best variant in the entire game. It is not vaguely close. So, the best thing to use them on is to get a quad weapon of a Unstoppable Force piece, just like this one right here. So I don't know if I have any sitting around, but usually I just kind of skim through and I look for an Unstoppable Force, like this one. You can see this one is 3 stats. It does not have attack. And what this means is I can click this, and if I get lucky, these don't always hit, I can get an attack percent. This is what you want to look for. This is the best weapon in the game, best variant in the game. That is the main thing you want to look for. Aside from that, you can also look for pieces that are worth variant gems as well. Now, I would usually wait until after the variant, but let's say something like this, I could always transgem and variant this piece and try to get it to Unstoppable Force. This piece is even better, right? Just look for the ones with the highest stats. I tend to look for attack bonus and crit damage, number 1 and number 2. And then I look for crit rate. The thing is, on a build, if you build well, you can do attack speed on the chest plate, and you don't really need a super high attack speed roll. And you also have to keep in mind that this 4th stat is going to be locked into a refine. So basically, if you use a trans gem or you use a refine, it will lock you into that, period, right? So if you've already refined a piece, and maybe I've refined this crit rate, I can no longer transgem it to be a quad. So that's something else that's important to mention. That is the number 1 use for these. The other use, I would say, is for variant bangles. Something like this. This, for example, has some very high rolls. It's a great piece. Maybe I want this from a BP character, right? I could try to variant it, right? And get extra stats. Let's say this already had extra stats on it, great BP piece. Then I could fish for attack. Now, this has already been refined, so therefore I can't do that, but that's something you could do. I would say in terms of variants, it's already hard enough to get good pieces. I would just try to go for the pieces that already have good variants using the trans gems. Pieces to get like the perfect stats, the perfect variants, the perfect everything. You need to be very lucky, and you need to do a lot of steps, right? You want to try to eliminate as many of those steps, which is why I say prioritize variants. Now, outside of that, you can also do just pieces with high rolls, and this is not exclusive to weapons or bangles. This is also for pretty much everything. For example, here on Cataclysm, this account has 2 Cataclysm pieces on the entire account for amulets with a flat attack substat. Flat attack is the #1 substat in the game and the main one you should look for. Alright, so here as an example, maybe I need a 3rd one. I could look for ancients that maybe don't have that flat attack, and I could turn these ones, or you could look for tier 1 pieces to use these on. These are all the tier 1 DPS pieces as an example right here, and I can look through for the highest roll, maybe something like this. Usually I try to get some high crit damage, crit rate, mostly. The speed is still important, but not as much. Something like this, good rolls throughout everything. Maybe I could butterfly it to a Cataclysm, and then I could try to get that flat attack. Or I could transmute it, or not transmute it, butterfly it into a Hell's Lament or a Soulbound, and then transgem it to try to make it a quad stat. That's what you use your transgems for, pretty much. Now, if you do not hit the proper transgem, there are still some things that are good. So here, you can see Rage. Rage is a great stat. HP percent is a great stat, and then flat attack is the best stat. So there's still a lot of stuff that you can do with it. And that's what I would use my transgems on, and what I would recommend for you guys. Think of it as a way to round out pieces of gear, and a way to get your gear to the best level possible. Pieces like this are going to get you very far, but pieces like this are not common to get. But luckily, we have this thing in the game called gems. These things are the things that you want to put all of your gems towards, in my opinion. Stuff like this weapon. But once you've already gotten 1, 2 unstoppable force quads, I would say that is time where you can consider working on some right side pieces. Now, obviously, if you have like some quad gold ones or some crazy pieces, or you're struggling with a set and you just need that extra help, that's something you can do. Also, with chest plates, you can also try to fish for pieces like this. No crit quads if you are later in the game, or you can look for pieces like this. You know, if you get a really good roll on a piece and it's missing one of the most important stats in the game, as long as it's an ancient, you can transgem it. That is what you want to use these on. So with that being said, I most likely will be using it on the piece that I showed earlier, which is going to be probably this one, I think it was. Yeah, one of these, Unstoppable Force. I'm also going to Ancient Hammer it, try to get my 2nd one ever on this account. On my other account, I have 3 of them. But still, we're going to rip it, and I get flat defense. And unfortunately, this is the single worst thing you can get, apart from maybe healing effect, and I have to decline it. And it was wasted on me. But if you get lucky, it's very good. Anyways, I just wanted to record a quick guide on that, and also inform you guys about the transgem as a whole. And I hope this helps. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one, and Destined signing out.